you know about Francis of Assisi? Nobody? Come on. How many know about Francis of Assisi? For those of you that don't know, Francis was well known for his love of all creation, not just animals. And he was so connected with all of creation, he would call the sun brother sun and the moon sister moon. He would call the wolves brother wolf. And the story is told, one of the oldest stories is of a wolf that was attacking both animals and people in a small village. And Francis said, don't hurt the wolf. He's just doing this because he's really hungry. So he went out and had a conversation with the wolf, and he said, I know what you're doing is a bad thing, but I know you're only doing it because you're hungry. So let's make a deal. You don't bother the people and the animals in the village, and they'll feed you. They will always feed you. And the wolf assented and gave his paw as an assent. And from then on, every day the wolf was fed. And from then on, the wolf never harmed anyone in the village. That's the oldest story of St. Francis, and there are lots of others. I grew up in a church that was filled with stories of the saints. And I know that it was in order to enable the people in the community to identify and follow their good example. One of the things that I would like everyone to know and to understand is that everything we know, everything, without exception, we know through our five senses. Do I dare try this? Sight, smell, hearing, seeing, and touch. You get all five? Those five senses. Without those five senses, we cannot take in information. We may do with those things, but that's where the information comes from. And the thing that I marvel as I walk the path, I have to correct Genesis. We were not made top of the food chain. And I respect that back 7,000 years ago, when the first piece of Genesis was written, yes, people were seen as the top of the food chain, and they ruled the world. More and more studies have been done that discover we are not the only intelligent creatures on this planet. We may, the jury I think is out, we may be the most intelligent. I'll give them that, I'll give us that temporarily. But we are not the only intelligent creatures. We are not, as we're growing to understand, we are not the only self-aware creatures on this planet. More and more we begin to discover how intelligent are the creatures that fill this world, including, oddly enough, plants. So I don't own my dogs. I've really never met a person who owns their dogs. You may think you do. A case could be made that my dogs own me. More often than not, our pets train us. And that can be problematic. But what I do know is that these things that we call pets of ours, and we are theirs, we are on a journey together. We share the journey. And we connect. We connect very, very closely with these pets. When I lost Max, who was a Bernese Mountain Dog, just before this big goof here, Zeus, it's always devastating. And anybody who has ever lost a pet and has been connected to a pet, you know that it just rips your heart out. It absolutely does. I was talking to a parishioner, and he was consoling me after the loss of Max. And I said to him, he said, well, it's, you know, I understand, Jack, because he had lost a pet too. And he said, it's like losing a member of your family. And I said, well, I'd almost agree with you, Chris, that it is losing a member of your family. I thought for a second, and sometimes it's harder when you lose your dog, depending on who the family member is. And that's true. So that connection is that close. I've often wanted, if I had another profession, inside this profession, I don't know that people would really understand. I wanted to name my dog God. I don't mean that in any way with disrespect. I could say, I got God feeding out of my hand. When I call, God comes. But the reality is that all of creation, and in a special way, our pets, are images, are metaphors, are visible signs of the God that we meet in Jesus. These creatures accept us on our good days and our bad. They come to us with all their enthusiasm, whether we're up or down. They forgive us absolutely unconditionally. They trust us beyond our ability to respond. And they are always, always there giving and asking only that we care for them. Yes, I know. They are part of my experience of the holy, of the divine. And it's just super to see the number of other pets that we have here. I saw a saying which really grabbed me at my age, and it was a saying on dogs, and a whole bunch of sayings. And it said, old age is when you recognize there is not time enough left for all the dogs with whom you wish to partner. And I know that to be true, sadly. It just strikes me on a day like this, I would rethink of the blessing of pets, because it really sounds like we're giving something to them. I'm not sure how true that is. The word blessing, makarioi, is both happiness, it's sense of gift. Barakah is really the barakah, which is used as a word for blessing in Hebrew. It really means to give thanks. So in that sense, blessing fits. It is a barakah. It is a thanksgiving prayed over these members of our journey. And we give thanks for their companionship on that journey. These creatures who we know, dogs in particular, did you know, have a one-to-one match with us in their DNA. One for one. And they are on our journey, in the ups and in the downs. And they are always with us. And I guarantee you, some of you don't have pets and maybe you don't know this, but I will guarantee you the journey, which has its ups and downs, and there's no exceptions to that, it is easier and it is better when you have a companion like these guys to walk with you by your side. Let's give thanks for them today, always, and let's treat creation the way in which God wants us to treat it, and the way in which these guys treat us.